Okay, video 2. I've been sitting around today in the last few days thinking about what I would want to create a outlet to be or to look like. And nothing is really stuck out very obviously. I've also been pretty tired the last few days. I've had kind of late nights, so motivation to try things has been relatively low. But I just wanted to do something, and this is something that is arguably creative. And I wanted to hash out some ideas here. So, thinking about the arts, there's only so many paths that you can take. Realistically, I don't think I'm ever going to be like a sculptor. I don't know of anybody who's a sculptor anymore, though I know they still exist. So yeah, keeping things in the realm of realistic music, movies, photography, digital art, painting, drawing, sketching. Those are probably the big ones in fine arts, but then there's also poetry and writing. I think that's the thing that comes to mind for me. Music's probably the most attractive of them, but also the most intimidating. I get the impression that musicians who do the work that they like and actually create stuff they're proud of put a ton of time into it. They just seem like a group that all of their energy goes into what they do, and they're always thinking about music, always listening to it. They play a bunch of different instruments and they mess around all the time. And that's pretty intimidating, but the most attractive. So I'd put that on a list of both most attractive and most intimidating. Writing, whether that's just fiction or I guess social commentary / opinion or poetry, is probably the easiest to get into, and then it requires the least amount of supplies or anything or instruction, and is probably the one that I find the least intimidating, but also potentially the one that I'm the least drawn to. It seems like a very difficult route, especially considering that I think I want to make stuff that reaches something of an audience. I was talking to ChatGPT yesterday about this desire that I have for fame, and ChatGPT sort of countered with this idea that fame can be just the symptom of something else. And I think that's probably more accurate. I would hate to be famous for just being like a reality TV person. What I really want is validation and expansion. I think personal transcendence to a certain degree, and recognition. And I don't think you typically get a lot of that through writing, which isn't bad. It doesn't mean that writing can be extremely worthwhile. It very much could be. It might be the path that's the most realistic and the one that I could actually take, and it could be extremely worthwhile. But with regard to these feelings that I currently have, it scratches that itch potentially the least. So that leaves photography or filmmaking. That could be acting or directing or writing scripts, coming up with ideas. Acting would be really hard because I have no range whatsoever. I'm not a very expressive person and I'm fairly monotone. It's hard to imagine me doing much else besides that, so kind of might be stuck there as well. But I think I might take up acting just for the fun of it. It does seem like a great way to expand that range and just mess around and have fun. The Body Keeps the Score also talks about the potential psychological benefits that acting has. So, producing something or making a movie would be more interesting and not that intimidating, actually. I feel like I have, on more than one occasion, actually fairly regularly, have ideas for things that I could actually put together, whether it be animated shorts or just scenes that come together in my head of how I would want to represent something on film. So that is pretty attractive. But there's something that deters me from it. It just doesn't have quite the same appeal as the other stuff. Maybe it's because it's not individual enough. It's not individual expression. It's expression through a very complex medium with a lot of moving parts that requires a lot of help. So then painting, sketching, drawing, or including digital media could be better. Definitely more immediate access to emotional expression, but also very intimidating and very hard. I have almost no experience with fine arts. I've never really doodled or drawn or painted. When I've tried, since I've tried so few times, it always ends up terrible, which is not encouraging. I just want to get started, though. I just want to be doing something. I just have this craving, this itch. And maybe it's just like the modern plague of my generation, always needing to be doing something, always needing to be striving after something, always needing to be stimulated, entertained. It's definitely possible. The easiest outlet right now would be to start playing the drums, since we do have an electric drum kit in my residence. But yeah, well, glad to have thought this process out. So until next time.